I will help you drift in Assetto Corsa by telling you a few tips and tricks. I will also go over on which car to use, how to start a drift, maintain a drift, and how to end it. Keep in mind that this video is for those who play with a steering wheel and for those who keep high angle. If you use a controller, this video should still be useful. Now that this is out of the way, off to the main video we go. Hello everyone, Nico here. There isn't a lot you should know about me except that I simply enjoy drifting and doing anything that has cars in it. Before we start this video, I recommend you have Content Manager installed as it will help you out a lot. If you don't have it, look up a video on how to install it, it's very simple. I will also leave timestamps in the description for things I will go over. After this video ends, you should be able to drift without any problems, so without any further ado, let's get you going sideways. So, to start off, we need to get the right settings for drifting. The ones you should start off with are traction control and ABS should be set to factory. Stability control you should put on 90%. And when you improve and think you can do better without it, turn it down to 50%. After that, you can turn it down to 20, and then after that, you can lower it to 5% or completely turn it off. Mechanical damage and tire consumption as well as fuel consumption should all be on 0%. This allows anyone to drift until they get bored or want to switch their car or something similar. Tire blankets should be on if you're first starting off. You can turn them off when you start getting better. All tire blankets do is make your tires be warm when you load in. Everything else should be off. Slipstream effect should be set on max. Now we will choose a good car for drifting. If you are on Xbox or PlayStation, I recommend you use a car that has drift in its name, as it's a lot easier to drift and doesn't require other techniques that other stock cars would need, like weight transfer or something similar. However, if you are on PC like me, I recommend you download the World Drift Tour and World Drift Tour Street Car Packs, as they are made for drifting. Of course, you can always use the stock cars in game, but they will be a lot harder to drift. Your car should always be rear-wheel drive and it should have a manual transmission. Now that this is done, we can move on to the next section. Again, as on which car to use. If you are on Xbox or PlayStation, you should learn to drift on the drift circuit that is located in Japan. If you are on PC, you can still learn how to drift on the drift circuit. Or you can start drifting on a mountain pass. If you go with the choice of mountain passes, I personally recommend Haruna Drift since the corners on it are wide and allow for mistakes to be made. However, if you are just starting out, don't go onto a map like Akina and try to drift on it because Akina has very tight corners and they are pretty hard to do if you're just starting out. To initiate a drift, you need to let your rear slide out. How do you do that? It's simple, and there are three ways of doing it. First way is a lot easier than the other two. When going into a corner, yank the handbrake as you turn into the corner. This will lock up your rear wheels and make them slide out. You should figure out how long to hold your handbrake as it will be different for every car. The result will look like this. Now, the second option is a bit harder but should still be very simple to do. When coming to a corner, steer out of the corner and then steer in. When turning your wheel towards the corner, kick the clutch. What it will do is make your rear wheels spin faster, thus allowing your rear to slide out. You shouldn't hold your clutch in for a long time, as it will only spin you out. If done correctly, it will look like this. The third and the hardest entry is weight transfer. It involves you braking softly so you transfer the weight of your car towards the front. Then you steer into the corner and maintain a drift. It should look like this. After you master entering a corner, we will start working on maintaining a drift. If this video has helped you out so far, consider leaving a subscribe and like it. If you want to, you can also share it. Right now I will explain how to maintain a drift. This will come down to three things: your entry, your throttle control, and how much you countersteer. I will explain what I mean by these. Your entry isn't decided if you use handbrake or clutch kick or weight transfer. It depends on how much angle you took while entering and at what speed you enter the corner. Throttle control is your control over how much gas you are giving. You should never give full gas. The only time I would make an exception is on a long straight. The only time you want to release the gas is when you transfer from one corner to another. Countersteering is how much you steer into the other direction. This will be a big thing since without countersteer you will either spin out or end up doing a four-wheel drift. When exiting a drift, you will notice that your car is losing angle. This is where you will start turning your wheel back to normal, but you should still control your throttle. If you start to spin out countersteer, one of the main reasons why you spin out is because you countersteer way too early. These are 2 tips to keep in mind. If you think your car is way too fast or easily spins out in a corner, it's probably your turbo percentage acting up. I recommend you drift on 40 to 70% turbo. This can be adjusted with 1 to 0 keys on your keyboard. You can also change which button changes the percentage of your turbo. You should stay away from WDT or Rule the Drifter cars, since they're used for tandems and probably shouldn't be used for practice. However, if you want to, you can go ahead and try them out. That's it for today everyone. I hope you enjoyed and learned something out of this video. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments below. Until next time, goodbye and good luck going sideways.